dude, talking about Game of Thrones is so much fun, you know?
Especially when you get to talk about the shit seasons and
Yeah,
be
yeah, yeah,
angry.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. And
Anyway,
as we all know, Game of Thrones is famously, especially in the later seasons, a deconstruction of high fantasy and
not only Zeke
a
and
lot of
deconstruction, it's mature and dark, unlike its
it
contemporaries.
is. It is so mature and dark. And Jon Snow is like also a deconstruction of the hero's journey. You know, the whole hero's journey. He does
I will
that.
be right back.
Oh no.
6.5 hours later.
My brother wanted me to make him dinner. I'll be right back.
So did you know that
What's
opening was a deconstruction of the idea of podcast openings?
Yeah, that's clever.
Yeah, because in real life, people get interrupted sometimes, and it doesn't work out perfectly.
Well,
Okay,
sweet.
Hunter x Hunter is very good and cool, and we love it a lot, right?
Yes.
Yes. And we all know, I think anyone watching this video should understand that if you call Hunter x Hunter a deconstruction of the shonen genre, uh,
Called it
you're
by a wrong
wrong.
name.
Shiki, that was gonna be a gag for later on, okay? Oh,
I don't want to have to listen to you say
see,
it
no, no,
wrong.
no. Hunter x Hunter is the deconstruction. Hunter x Hunter's not a deconstruction.
Oh, that's a very clever running gag. Okay, I'll
Except I
accept it.
failed it already because I called Hunter x Hunter not a deconstruction. So, no.
Oh, God
Okay.
damn it. Never mind. Okay,
Anyway,
whatever.
Hunter x Hunter is not a deconstruction of the shonen genre. This was a big talking point a few years ago, and we basically found this article that is like a perfect like bullet point summary of all the points people had. It's on
Yeah.
TV Tropes, by the way, which it's a fine site. Just don't go to the blog section.
I don't like TV tropes in general just because I don't find categorization that interesting.
Yeah, alright, so dude, did you know that Gon is a massive deconstruction of the stock shonen hero?
Because he's a bright-eyed kid who's kind of dumb and has questionable morals and is really physically strong and kind of a walking animal.
Yeah, I mean, this is like the one decent point the article brings up is Gon's morality because, like, is it true that Goku, like, in the original Dragon Ball, like, has, like, inconsistent morality? Like, he likes Yamcha, who's a thieving bandit, but then will not, like, say the Carrot Gang's the worst and stuff like that. Like, yeah, that's true. Goku just likes who he likes, and, we kind of just roll with it. And so when Gon, like, that point's, like, kind of brought up and, like, sort of shown negatively, it's
It's
like, all
more
right,
so an
that's actually, like,
exploration than a deconstruction, but whatever.
like you can call it deconstruction, so it's like let's like realistically like take that mindset and examine how it would be
Mhm.
fucked up for a superpowered kid to think like that, which, like, yeah, sure, fair enough. 99, the rest of the article, the other 99%, is terrible because it'll say things like Gon is a deconstruction because he needed a master to get stronger and his talent is acknowledged in universe as being abnormal, like that never happens before. Like you look at like Ichigo and be like, wow, man, how is he so strong? It's like they don't just say he's built different. No, there's a reason in universe that Ichigo's weird and strong. It's acknowledged and brought up as even in the first chapter. Riku's like, what the hell? Why is his sword that big? That's not normal.
Goku did a move that up to that point had only ever been done by a man who was several centuries old. And everyone's like, what the flying fuck was that?
Yeah, and like, again, later on it's shown like, oh, he's like a Saiyan alien, so that maybe like made him a bit more talented than your average human and all that.
Even though he's like a Garbo Saiyan.
Yeah. But anyway, like, yeah, it's just not good. Yeah, and also, dude, did you know that Gon frequently loses battles? Like he will lose sometimes, and showing heroes, they never lose anything, right? Like, never, ever, ever.
Howdy, gentlemen.
We're talking
Oh
about
no.
hunting hunters.
Well, you have a specific channel for that, but I'll
See
leave.
this
You
opening.
shut up, Blade,
See this.
your
Oh,
fault.
see this is another deconstruction of the podcast show. Sometimes you're interrupted, and
You're cool in
it
general.
just sort of happened. See, it
what
happened
a
twice.
deconstruction.
Yeah, see, we're deconstructing our own
Anyway,
podcast so well.
Oh, so Gon loses a lot. Would I say he loses more than the average protagonist? Yeah. Does that make him special? No, that's kind of just like if you like that, you like that.
Yeah, like Luffy. We shall remember. Everyone is a One Piece fan nowadays. Like, Luffy loses against twice against Crocodile, but like he eventually wins. So like maybe you don't want to count that for whatever reason. Okay,
And Luffy,
what about
outside of, like,
Aokiji, Magellan, all of Marineford, like throughout the entire Marineford War is like
Marineford
100.
sucks ass.
I
For
know that's
Luffy.
like literally that's like 50 whole chapters of Luffy just
Oh, you
getting
know
his
what's a
ass
more fun
kicked.
example?
What?
What's a more fun example? We've talked about this before. Goku doesn't win a fight the entire Cell Saga.
Yeah, that's like that's like second longest one, right?
I think so, or maybe third. Point is, it's fucking huge, and Goku just straight up doesn't win. Or like even like Goku's most beloved fight, Goku versus Vegeta, where Goku says, "I'm gonna beat you with my hard work." Goku loses, and they have to tag man.
Yeah, it's like bringing that up is such a stupid. Like maybe if you were like gonna go like maybe way back to like when it was like most, it wouldn't even be like shonen heroes. It'd be like Super Sentai heroes in a weekly formula where like they literally have to win every week because like it's a weekly
They'll
show.
lose like once.
Yeah, like
The
once a
next
season.
episode's finale.
Yeah, once a season against the main villain, maybe.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's
okay,
kind of it.
so Gon gets frustrated with his lack of progress, which is a basic like human trait and also just character trait for a main character. Like I made a Soul Eater video, and that happens to Maka a lot.
What?
Yeah. You talk with Goen's like in the latest Beyblade show, doesn't the main character never like win once?
Okay. Fuck. Spoilers for Beyblade X. I guess uh, we are 60 episodes deep. This motherfucker hasn't done a official battle. I'm sad.
Just like Vert Wheeler in Hot Wheels Accelerations, he never wins a
He's
single race
getting
till the end.
cheesed. He should have won the last one. They fucking cheesed it. Literally after the battle, it was a three-way battle, and every single team unanimously said he should have won that.
And like maybe like Goku never had like a big low point where like he got really discouraged or whatever, but like everyone else in the the rest of the big three did, and like that's usually the main example everyone points to when they want to deconstruct something, because like Naruto has low points, Luffy has low points, and Ichigo has low
I think
points.
Naruto is an amazing example because Naruto actually you could say deconstructed a time training arc, because Naruto does a time skip training and then the reveal is like, sure, he's stronger, but compared to everyone else, he kind of didn't grow that much.
Yeah, all the
Like, he
important stuff
literally
came
needs to have a
after.
second training arc. He literally needs to have two more training arcs with Kakashi to do the Rasengan, and then with the Toads to get Sage Mode to like actually have a real power up.
Yeah, no,
Because
like,
his time skip power up was just like, I'm gonna get Sasuke back. I've been training, and then it's like, dude, Sasuke clipped the ever loving shit out of you.
yeah, like I don't know why. Like I know why the article's doing it, but like it's like
Mm-hmm.
it's a terrible point. Gon doesn't always fight the big bad of each arc.
Okay.
Which I
I saw
guess
joke
like
about
is a
this where
like
someone's like where someone's no, I saw someone's like if Oda wrote the Chimera Antark and it's like Luffy Meruem, and it's like, okay, but what about like Marineford, which people compare to Chimera Ants, they like them. Luffy doesn't beat Sengoku or Sakazuki or really anyone except Kobe.
and like at the same time, this isn't like a deconstructive trait for a work to have. It's just unusual at best. It doesn't
Yeah,
deconstruct
you could
anything.
say it's uncommon, but it still happens. Hell, fucking Mushi Bugyo. If any of you have heard of that fucking manga, it's long, so it's not like niche, but now a lot of people have read it. For a very long time, the main character is so fucking weak, even though he's a swordsman meant to slay bugs. He has to smash their heads in with his hilt because that's better than slashing. And basically, all of his allies are way stronger than him and handle the tough enemies.
Yeah. All right. So, but dude, Gon is like really insane with how much he wants to win. He's willing to give up an arm to win. He takes it to the point. He takes the determination to a point of lunacy, which no
What's
other
funny
main
is I
character has ever
do
done.
like the scene where Gon fucking loses his arm like a fucking maniac, but also like, do people like? Here's a fun example. Naruto.
You
The
sound
Tails.
terrible right now. You sound
What
terrible.
the fuck? My internet? Why? Okay, I'm gonna restart the computer.
See, this is a deconstruction of the podcast formula. We're getting interrupted a third time.
12 seconds later.
All right, well, so my internet stays good.
Yeah, all right. So in like 5-10 minutes, my sister's gonna interrupt me, and then we'll deconstruct the podcast again. Okay. So anyway, so Gon is willing to lose an arm. That's crazy, man. What other shown protagonist is willing to risk their limbs to win a fight? Never happens before, like ever,
So-
ever.
Yeah. So
Never,
the
ever,
joke I
ever.
was gonna make, Puff, is like it's not limbs, but People remember that when Naruto gets enough tails, the reason he turns red is because that's his skin ripping off and he's bleeding, right?
Yeah.
Like people remember
But
that,
like,
right?
here's like an example that's like directly analogous to the Gon scene. What about when Luffy is fighting Magellan and he says, "You can take my arms," and then like punches the big poison man with his arms, like
And then
bare hands.
and then his arms get really beat up.
Yeah, and you can say, "Well, he got healed by like Eva's magic." So it's like, yeah, so did Gon. So like, it's literally the
And
same
in
thing
fact-
that happens. They
Like,
did the
you could
same
actually
thing.
argue Gon was more sensible than Luffy because Gon knew they were in a magic bullshit game with healing spells. Whereas Luffy's just like, Eva can probably save me anyway.
Luffy doesn't even know Eva exists yet.
Oh no, I meant the second time. First time, Luffy literally has no. The only excuse you can give is that Luffy is so dumb he doesn't really know how Venom works. So he's like, "Fuck it."
But he says, "You
I
can have
got
my
this.
arms." So like, he's
Oh, yeah, no.
willing to give it
No,
up.
no, yeah, no. He's willing to destroy them. Luffy's obviously fucking stupid.
No, it's
I
like,
mean, yeah. Oh, I mean, that's as early as the Arlong fight, where Sanji's amazed that Luffy let Arlong bite his arm and then slammed him into the ground because Sanji literally said, if Luffy timed that slightly off, Arlong would have taken his arm.
yeah, it's so like common for a kid like, "Oh no, he's doing a super risky move. You might lose your limb." And so yeah, it happens. It's not even a point. Why would you even try and make that a point?
Or like hell, let's look at Togashi's other work, Yu Yu Hakusho. I'm sure everyone remembers the Dark Tournament fight where Yusuke fights with his foot on a knife for no reason other than the other guy suggested it, and Yusuke said, "That sounds fucking awesome." Let's do it.
No, but dude, you think about it. Leorio wants money, and that's a grounded, realistic motivation.
Unlike Ochako early on, before she got a more noble motivation because MHA is about heroes. Unlike
Unlike
Nami
Nami.
early on, who really wanted money, but then started to see, who still loves money, but also started to see the value in exploring with her friends and adventuring. Nami's so cool.
Oh, and
'cause
remember,
Nami doesn't
Leorio
like adventuring, but she likes adventuring with her friends. Unlike Leorio, who wanted money, but then it was revealed that actually he wants money so that he can be a doctor, and also he's just like a really nice guy.
Yeah, it's like every series does this. Like, there'll always be someone who likes money, because that's normal. It's normal. Okay.
Yeah.
Meruem is a monster who learns empathy, and that's super unique and deconstructs the whatever name they gave that trope.
No, because here's the thing. Like, it sounds like you're being mean. I like Meruem. He is a very good example of the monster gaining humanity trope. He's great.
You know,
But
I
also,
say it in a
it's a
jokey
trope.
voice. I say it in a jokey voice where like, "Oh, he's a monster becoming more human," and Gon is a human becoming more monstrous. So who the humans are the real monsters? Like, yeah, okay, I say it in a funny voice,
You're
but
worse than the ants.
no, I say it in a funny voice, but like it's done super well in Hunter x Hunter, and Hunter x Hunter is really good, and I just say it in a funny voice because it's funny. But it's not unique. Majin Buu literally does the same thing. You could say Miriam's 1,000 times better than Majin Buu. Yeah, I don't care. That doesn't make him a deconstruction if he's just better. Like, that's the thing. You couldn't just say Hunter x Hunter's a good shonen. You had to call it a deconstruction of shonen if you want to
Well,
make it
that's
sound
because
as
for a
more
while
offensive.
the internet was ruled by like JoJo and Hunter x Hunter fans who are like, no, I don't like anime. I don't like shonen. I like these things, which don't count.
I
Because
like
said
Madaka
so.
Magica.
Yeah, no, just yeah, or yeah, no. Ava isn't like other mecha anime. Madoka isn't like other magical girl anime. Just that fucking shit.
Yeah. Unlike most mecha, Evangelion was about the characters.
Yes, that's true. Yeah,
All
just
right.
that shit.
Yeah, no, so like this is another decent point it brings up, but I don't know if I'd call it a deconstructive quality, just the fact that Hunter x Hunter usually ends its big arcs with anticlimaxes.
Oh, Togashi. Oh my god, Togashi and Hunter x Hunter fucking loves anticlimaxes. They're his fucking favorite. I think that's actually one of the most notable, unique things about Hunter x Hunter is how many fucking anticlimaxes there are. Because obviously other series will do anticlimaxes, but he does them like all the fucking time.
Yeah, and like it's really cool because like main theme of Hunter x Hunter is like it's the journey, not the destination. So the fact that like the destination, like the end of each big arc, is like kind of underwhelming. It's not as fun as the chase or the hunt of trying to get what you want. Like that's what's always like the best part of life is trying to get something, not the actually getting it part. So like I think that's just a really cool way Hunter x Hunter does that. Does that make it a deconstruction? I don't really think so. Maybe it does a bit, because like I guess that's a main theme in a lot of shonens. It's the journey, not the destination. But then like they'll both be cool or whatever. So I guess you can take that point if you want.
But
But
even then, the main thing is like other series will do anticlimaxes. Hunter x Hunter just does them more, like a lot more.
yeah. All right. So next, this is one of my favorite sentences or paragraphs from the blog.
Okay.
As it turns out, the Heaven's Arena proves to be a fairly poor place to train for a variety of reasons. Not only are the vast majority of people on the low floors complete pushovers, but the jump between normal humans and Nen-empowered individuals is so vast that Gon and Killua cannot progress with their own talents and must be trained by Wing or else they'll be killed!
Wow. The main characters are getting cliffed because they don't have a certain power up. That's crazy.
Hi, Jiraiya.
Hi, fuck it. Hi, Wano.
Hi,
Wano.
Rayleigh.
Literally, Wano does it too.
Hi,
Luffy's
King
like,
Kai.
literally pre-Wano, Luffy's already like top 30 in the verse, and they're still like, no, you still actually need to learn this special technique that is literally required to progress, or you're just gonna get cliffed.
Hi, Urahara. Like Urahara's even more extreme example because Ichigo straight up lost all his powers and needs Urahara to get them all back. So like, wouldn't that be like more deconstructive by this metric?
Or like, oh, you know, it's a fun one.
What?
Deku having to learn full cowling because if he keeps fighting his normal way, his body will collapse.
Yeah, that's like him ignoring one mentor in favor of what this other one's teaching him, which like you could say is kind of unique-ish or like less common.
Yeah, like we talked about this before. MHA puts a lot more focus on like characters trying to not destroy their bodies than other series.
Yeah. In fact, like, wouldn't you say that like the whole like Gon's willing to lose an arm Lucy thing applies way more to MHA? Like way more.
Where Deku keeps fucking nuking his arms.
all right. This is my favorite sentence from the entire thing now.
Okay.
York New City arc, the villain squad arc, in which the heroes face off against a group of evil villains. This arc examines what would happen if you took super-powered humans and put them in the real world. The power gap between the trope, the troupe, and the mafia goons is massive. So dumb. The people with superpowers are way stronger than the guys without superpowers.
Yeah, that
What
happens.
series doesn't do this? You have to. Which ones
you remember
don't
when
do
King
it?
Piccolo raided the king of the Earth's castle very casually?
Remember when Naruto was like a 12-year-old, like beat up two like mercenaries because even though he's a like a baby ninja, he's still massively stronger and faster than the average person.
Yeah, like the reveal that the strong ones could body the civilians is like super fucking common actually.
Incredibly so. Like it's harder to find it's hard to find examples in shown of people being underpowered enough generally for like normal like troops and stuff to be a threat to them.
Oh yeah, like what about like I guess they're probably thinking about like the scene where the troop is just plowing through civilians, right?
Yeah, like the mafia. Yeah.
You know what that's very similar to?
What?
That scene in Jujutsu where the natural disaster curses are plowing through the people in the subway.
Yeah.
This shit happens. It's a trope. It's a cool trope. Actually,
It's not even. I don't. It kind of goes beyond being a trope. It's like, oh, the people with superpowers are stronger than the people without superpowers. It's like, that's like obvious. That comes with the territory of including superpowers into your setting. That's what they all do.
Yeah.
All right. So this point wasn't in the blog, but Super Eye Patch Wolf made a fun Hunter x Hunter video where he calls Gon going angry and fighting Pito the anti-Super Saiyan moment.
So the only good point he makes about that is the way it's animated is literally the inverse, where instead of power flowing outward, it flows inwards. That's the only good point he makes.
Yeah. Like
Now
if
for
you want to
everything
say
else.
like it's directly like in a way homaging the Super Saiyan while also because like Gon's hair flows up, all he gets a big evil aura, all that, like sure, that's fair, that's cool, but also like the super powered evil side is literally a trope in TV tropes. Like they have a page dedicated to it called the super powered evil side, where it's like, oh, the the character gets angry and then that anger gives them a superpower and they can't control it, or there's negative consequences to it. Hi, Ichigo, Naruto, Natsu, almost Deku sometimes, Itadori if you want to count Sukuna coming out, the Hulk, the Incredible Hulk, my favorite superpowered evil side.
Yeah, it's just not that crazy. So what's Oh, Puff, actually, there's one thing from the article you didn't mention I really like.
Oh, is it the sentence you cropped out?
No.
Oh.
It's the fact that one thing that sounds like a deconstruction on paper is when people say that the Zoldyck family arc where they save Kula is a deconstruction. And it feels like a subversion at least, because we show up, we get all this family, we get all of these people, and we don't fight them. We just get Kula and leave. And it feels like one, because it's like, oh, that's not how most rescue arcs go. But what Kraftstorff pointed out in one of his podcasts that is very interesting, almost every rescue arc worth thinking of came out after that arc.
That is true, because you guys gotta remember Hunter x Hunter is old, like older than most of the popular
Hunter x
examples we
Hunter
brought
was
up.
running alongside One Piece for a while at
So
first.
if you want to call it deconstruction, you should be comparing it to like Fist of the North Star or Yu Yu Hakusho or like
Or like
Dragon
Dragon
Ball.
Ball. Yeah, shit like that.
And like
And
to be
that's
fair, primarily that's what the article uses is Dragon Ball.
which is
But
fair.
like
Which
if
is
you want to
fair.
call it deconstruction of a genre, you need to bring up more than Dragon Ball, unfortunately.
Yeah. The other thing that's like that is yeah, because think most rescue arcs. Sasuke retrieval, which you could say is a subversion because Sasuke fights his way out and then leaves. Enies Lobby and then Whole Cake Island. The Shaman King rescue arc where they fight the Chinese family whose name I can't remember. Is it Shin? I'm fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, there are a lot of rescue arcs, but most of them came out after the Zoldyck family arc. So it's less so like intentional subversion or deconstruction, at least compared to like what people are used to, and more so just like a thing Togashi did that not a lot of other people who do rescue arcs tend to do.
Yeah. Like,
And like obviously I like the arc, but also if you were gonna be mean and compare them, shocker, the rescue arcs where there actually been big bombastic fights where the person has to learn that they want to be saved, whatever the fuck. Those are all great. Not to be a dick, but Enies Lobby, Hueco Mundo, Soul Society, and Sasuke Retrieval are all better than Gon dicking around in the woods so he can push a door for 5 chapters.
I like the Kenshin arc where he has to save the doctor lady from the ninja band. I like
Yeah.
that arc. It's cool. It's fun. It's awesome.
No, that's the other thing, because even though it's a rescue arc, it's more of a training arc.
Yeah, they do push-ups to open a door.
Yeah, the
Literally.
point is them powering up to open a door. That's literally it. They're powering up to open a door, and then it's also just world building, or like I guess just character development for Killua and his dad. Where Killua's dad had a really good line where they're like, "Why the fuck did you let him leave?" And he's like, "He's my son. He'll come back. We're fine."
Yeah. All right, so I guess we talked enough about that.
Yeah.
Again, like one other thing about this one, Togashi loves Shonen Jump like a whole lot. So
he
like
does.
the people are like, oh, it's a soft scene and it's a deconstruction about like how most shonen are bad. It's like, no, he loves most shonen, I imagine.
Oh, also real quick, Puff, I will read the sentence. This sentence perfectly describes the way people talk about Hunter x Hunter. Is from the article. Nen itself is both a massive deconstruction of the key manipulation trope in general, while also playing it straight.
Yeah, because it's like realistic, man. It's
It does some
realistic.
things different, but it also does some things the same.
Yeah.
Wow, it's like every series ever.
Yeah, like I guess we should have brought this up earlier. I feel like the only two ways you can be a deconstruction of something is like either A, you be Medaka Box and like you deliberately bring up like tropes and stuff in your universe. Like, Madaka's literally the main
You'd
character of the
be
universe.
painfully
She has
meta.
main character powers. Literally, she's destined to win no matter what she does, as long as she believes in her friends and all that. Or B, you just like try to do the hyper realism thing, where it's like, okay, what if this like certain character archetype or trope or whatever it happened in real life? What would happen? Like Evangelion's a fun example, where it's like, if there was a contrived setup that needed kids to pilot robots, the kids would not have fun piloting the
Yes.
robots at all. It would suck. Or like,
what you
once
could point out is like the thing that existed before Ava Gundam. There were several Gundam seasons that did address the fact that the kids don't want to fucking be here. Some are awesome, like some of the kids are just fucking bawling and awesome, like the famous clip where the girl says, "Come to my birthday," and then he says, "I'll kill you." That great clip. Or
Yeah.
something like a Gurnish Count Alpha Ava, where everyone's just fuck it, we ball. Except for C mode, he hates it.
Yeah.
But even then, it's not that common, and that's the other problem with the whole deconstruction thing. We're like too deep into like stories. To
Oh, I
have
know that is the problem. It's like there's like so many now, like in all genres, and so there's such a wide like variety that's like,
dude,
how can you
demons beating up God used to be like deconstructive and subversive.
I know. It's just like now we kind of like found a point where it's like it's coming back like with the whole fragrance shit, where it's like, oh, what happens if we just introduce demons who are just evil, and then like it's like, well, now people don't know how to react to it anymore, because it's like we've come full circle. Now it's deconstructive to have an absolute evil race in your story, and people don't get that.
We've literally gone too far. It's like deconstructions can still happen, but they're becoming less common. And the other thing is just it's used by people who aren't that smart and want a buzzword to say why their series is better than yours.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't need to put down every single battle shonen on the planet because you like Hunter x Hunter. You don't have to. Mathwiz doesn't do that. Mathwiz likes Hunter x Hunter, and also she made a good Bleach video. You can do both of these things. Super eye patch wool.
it always comes back to the console wars. It always does with most of these bad
Team
takes.
sports. It always comes back to team sports. All right. So what's next?
All right, next, I just want to shout out the Hunter x Hunter video on my main channel. Go watch that if you care. Anyway, next.
His Nen video is pretty good.
Yeah. All right, so next is dude, Hunter x Hunter is garbage.
You keep saying X and it makes me want to die.
No. Hunter x Hunter is good. Hunter x Hunter is garbage.
Okay, why?
Because Hunter x Hunter. Okay, I'll stop. Hunter x Hunter has no artwork. It there's too many words in Hunter x Hunter, and I don't like it.
Okay, so here's the thing with the whole shit arc. Is it like S tier? No. Can it look insane when it wants to? Yes. Even in the last 10 chapter run, Puff, all the pages of the guy in the hospital bed, I really liked the way he did I really liked the way he drew them. It made it look fucking gross and kind of like, not like his wounds, but like they made the idea of a guy in a hospital bed be like, oh god, that is not a fun sight.
Yeah, but I feel like
he can be talented when he wants. The thing is, like, this is like a very worse version of what happened with like Bleach's ending, where it's like,
yeah.
the volume releases look fucking good, but yeah, a lot of the weekly, or like not weekly, but like a lot of just the initial releases looked bad because, as we all know, Togashi was fucking dying.
All right, now, like, to be real, would it be a dream scenario to imagine like Togashi's wife, the Sailor Moon author, like doing the artwork half form or something like that, and then we get more consistent chapters? Sure, that's fun to imagine. That's cool. But also, if Togashi wants to draw it himself, just give him the time.
Which
the
makes
volumes
sense because
will
he
look
does have a
okay.
very distinct style.
Yeah. And again, like if your problem is just too much text, just like, bro, like go read a book. Okay.
Learn how to read, you fucking
If there was
child.
any manga that was gonna have a shit ton of words, you knew it was gonna be Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah.
So like,
no, like not to be rude, but it's like when we saw that NC Hammer video of him being like, "There's so much text, bro, and I gotta read it so that I can tell you guys about it." It's like, well, of course you can't handle it. You read Jujutsu Kaisen through half-baked spoilers. You don't actually know how to experience a full chapter of a regular manga, let alone a wordy one.
let alone just a book, like a normal book, like a novel. Can't imagine.
So just like, is it more wordy than the average manga, and that might throw you off at first? Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, guys, it's words.
Yeah,
Just words.
and
You're an
like
adult. You can read
it's
words. I believe in you.
yeah, no, and this has been like a thing with the Hunter x Hunter for a long time. Like you can find like Best Guy Ever, who's like a real old reader who loathes Chimera Ant because he like read it as he was coming out, which must have been a
Took
painful
several
experience.
years, like
Because
many years.
yeah, which I imagine is like as painful, maybe like a bit more so an experience than we're going through right now with the boat arc.
Honestly, the only fine thing about ours is you and I talk about it every time a new chapter bunch drops. We either reread or just skim the last arc to remind ourselves what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, no, I do. I should do that because I can't. I should probably just stop and
Well,
wait for
I
it all
guess
to
it
come
doesn't
out at
help
this
that
point.
this
But like,
arc has the most amount of moving pieces in a while.
oh,
Jesus
without a doubt, without a
Christ.
doubt.
So you literally do need to recap. Like, oh yeah, that fucker. I forgot about him. He's gonna do something soon.
Yeah, and also like again like especially with like as it's coming out, like imagine like you're reading weekly or like I guess like bi-monthly or whatever the fuck for Chimera Ant. Imagine when Wolfen starts being a character and doing stuff. You would be so confused. Like why is Wolfen
you're like-
getting so much screen time?
You're
This
like,
guy
"I
who's
feel
never
like
done
I've seen
anything.
before." No, so yeah, that would suck.
Yeah, I know. Like it doesn't sound fun, but also we all love Chimera, and I'm pretty sure so it'll eventually be good. That's the point, guys.
Yeah. Oh, I'm having fun whenever I read the whole like when I read like the volume that he drops. I'm like, that was a good ass volume. Let's go.
All right, now do you wanna do a reaction to a video, or do you just want to talk about it because we already saw this video?
Oh, the video's way too long to do a reaction to.
The
It
why
was, like, 32.
Hisoka rocks and Mira Machette.
Oh no, we can watch that video. Short as hell.
Yeah, I know it's like seven. It's another one of those 7-minute gems that are just like I'm gonna say like
Well,
a
it's 'cause
1,000
it's
dumb things.
Manime fucking Matt.
Yeah,
All right, found it.
you got something against Manime Matt, my boy Manime
Yes,
Matt.
he's
You
really
got
bad
something
at
against
making
him?
videos.
What? No, he's
We'll speed him
what?
up slightly. Okay, for the record, I'm pretty sure this video was not well received by anyone. We're just dunking on him to dunk on him.
Yeah,
I did enjoy my overall experience with the anime Hunter x Hunter, but I won't pretend that I
he
don't
said it
have
right.
some
Thank you.
strong opinions.
Well, yeah, he had a podcast with Mathwiz during this. He can't get away with saying it wrong.
A certain arc of the anime.
Before we do this, I'm gonna be a hipster real quick.
Yeah.
2011's anime is not perfect. It's flawed in a lot of ways.
Yeah, like mostly just with Kite. Like that's the big gripe most people
The
have.
biggest one is Kite, because literally, like a bunch of anime onlys have been like, Kite felt like such a weird emotional anchor for Gon in that arc, considering he's a fucking nobody. It's like, yeah, that's because he's supposed to be Shanks.
He's
but
supposed to
just
be
not.
chapter 1. He was in chapter 1.
And also, Gon brings it up more in the manga. The second thing is just the tone. A lot of people, including like Alexander, who these are his older, less good Hunter x Hunter videos, but he made one on how Hunter x Hunter does like a dark arc and then a light arc. I don't think that tone exists in the manga. I think in the manga it's dark with like glimpses of light.
Yeah.
So I think anime kind of fucked that up. Whereas I think the old anime, despite having a lot of filler, was always like a lot darker and moodier.
Yeah.
What was my third thing? 2011 anime hates Leorio.
Oh yeah, no, dude. Leor's supposed to be like super jacked, like physically jacked, but like they
just the easiest example. The two examples early on that I remember is it may have been Netero, it may have been someone else. Someone in the Hunter exam is talking about physical strength, and they just outright say, "Leorio, you're a fucking monster for how little experience you have." And then the second, this is the coolest. Also, two more. The second is when they're at the Zoldyck family, Leorio can open the most doors.
yeah.
That's changed in the anime for some reason. And then third, and this is the one that's such a rob, the arm wrestling thing that they do in the anime. In the manga, Leorio's doing a lot of the arm wrestling.
Yeah, because he's supposed to be. That's the one of the few things he has. Why would you take it away from him?
That's why it's a big deal that he has a long range punch. Because even though he's a fucking idiot who can't do anything, the one thing he can do is hit you pretty goddamn hard.
Like, I think what the anime was going for is they're like, oh, we're gonna make this guy like the Usopp, where like he's the weakest of the gang, but he has like the brains or whatever. Like, I think that's what they were trying to go for. But
Yeah.
give me my Jack Leorio. Give me my.
That's
Give
what
me.
makes Leorio fun is he's garbage at Nen and like garbage at fighting and blah blah blah. But at least he's like a buff boy.
Yeah.
All right, so that's it. A few gripes I had with the 2011 anime. Otherwise, it's like obviously very fucking solid. I'd take it over like any of the big three's anime.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Either way, all joking aside, most people, even hardcore fans,
Fuck you, Matt.
will admit that the Chimera Ant arc has its problems.
Even
That was
hardcore
math was
fans.
for the transition, right?
Oh yeah, that is cursed. I don't
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Give me Mathwiz where she has a cute
No,
little.
no, no,
Ranma
Miriam's face right now.
avatar.
That's what I looked like when that popped
Yes.
up.
Yeah, no, that's not Mathwiz has a cute little Ranma avatar. That's and a witch hat. That's Mathwiz. uh, anyway.
You see, I think I finally figured out why I personally think that arc is bad, and
Okay.
that is because of Cell. Oops, I mean Miriam. You see, our Hunter
Miriam? Okay.
Just
sets
give
up
it to
some
him.
pretty awesome arcs, and I've enjoyed just about every one except for the single arc where Hisoka isn't present. Hisoka is Gon's main antagonist of the show, and may have personally earned my badge for the best anime villain, and for good reasons. Hisoka
Okay, we're gonna make him talk a little bit faster.
He can
I feel
talk
bad
more.
if we listen to too much audio without talking.
is masterfully written. So today I want to talk about Hisoka, the main antagonist of the show, and
I guess like he's a very
He's
consistent
more like
antagonist.
the most reoccurring antagonist.
He's a
I would
he's
say.
a reoccurring villain. I would never call him the main villain though.
I know. I guess it's kind of like Smoker is a reoccurring One Piece villain, but he's not the main villain.
Yeah.
That's going to be either Eam or Blackbeard. Currently, the main villain. We don't even know who the main villain is or the final villain is. A really interesting one is the guy from Meteor City, whose name I can't remember.
Gyro.
Miriam, the
Yes, he's interesting.
main antagonist of the Chimera Ant arc. Then compare and contrast the two, and show you just how shit Miriam is in
No, wait, Hisoka's definitely not the main villain. Even in one of the arcs where he's the most important, Greed Island, he's not a villain, and there are two people more villainous than him with Genthru and Razor.
just how awesome Hisoka is.
Hisoka is my favorite character in the series.
He's
is the
lovely.
thing. Like
He's awesome.
I love him. He's so cool.
Yeah, and also
he's
Look at the sexy ass silhouette. Look at the subtle
so
sexuality there.
He's
Oh,
so
my-
hot. He's such a hot. Oh my god.
hottest
him
pedo
with his-
ever. Hottest pedo ever.
God, dude, him with his hair down on the fucking whale. Oh my goodness, what a pretty man.
So let's start with the man clown of the hour, Hisoka. Hisoka is a truly incredible antagonist through every arc he's involved, and is probably one of my new favorite villains because Hisoka is sort of not a villain. I think
Like I get what he means because like in Greed Island he's not a villain, but it's like he is because Hisoka is. What's funny is that's why Hisoka parallels Gon. They're both animalistic.
Yeah, you know,
Hisoka literally just lives for the most carnal desire and nothing else.
like you can just say that like, oh, he's no different than most because every character's living for this. They're all hunters trying to hunt the things they want to hunt. It just so happens that Hisoka's is kind of problematic and kind of makes him a battle-hungry, bloodthirsty
he has a carnal
pedophile.
desire, which is just because his most carnal desires are to do his equivalent of sex, which is fight strong people, so get off, and then his other most carnal desire, which is just to defeat the things that threaten him. And then what's funny is after he loses badly, those carnal desires get ramped up, and he's like, "Dude, I am not giving opponents prep time anymore. Fuck that! I am jumping these people."
I think one of the things that makes Hisoka great is the fact that he is Gon's antagonist, and not particularly a villain. Gon and Hisoka differ heavily on a fundamental level, and neither one of their ideals are either correct or incorrect.
Hisoka's ideal is incorrect. He wants people to get strong so he can fight them, nut in his pants, and then kill them. That is literally Hisoka's
I
ideal.
guess you want to go for the life philosophy. He's just trying to chase the things he wants to chase, like everyone else. Like sure, but also he's a problematic man. That he's a villain because he kills people and he's a bad guy. It's kind of simple.
Yeah, no, the thing is, the problem that he wants is to fight strong opponents, and once they're strong enough that he's had his fill, he just kills them.
Gon is all about finding his father no matter what. He has no self-preservation and is simple-minded with a singular goal. Hisoka is the exact opposite. Hisoka is all about deception. His fighting style is
Wait.
a singular goal. Hisoka is the exact
Wait. What for?
Hisoka differ heavily on a fundamental level,
Wait.
but neither one of their ideals are either correct or incorrect. Gon is all about finding his father no matter what. He has no self-preservation and is simple-minded with a singular goal.
I guess you could. I guess actually that's not true because you know what's interesting to bring up.
What?
Gon and Hisoka both intentionally lose an arm during a fight because they know an ally can reattach it.
Yeah.
They literally are the same amount of reckless. They're fucking stupid. Like how the most obvious one, the Krollo fight. Manga spoilers, I guess, if you're not caught up with the manga for some fucking reason. Hisoka gladly accepts the most rigged fight of all time because he really, really wants to fight Krollo.
Yeah, no, he's a risk taker. Like when he's talking about like when should I turn on Illumi? Illumi might be able to kill me, as that's a pretty good fight. Do I want to do
Even
it
was
now
doing
or later?
equations in his head of like how can he get the most strong people to attack him?
Yeah, like obviously, like he's not like particularly like squeamish about like what he's gonna do with himself.
Yeah, he's like the mere fact that he is a traitor in the ants is
Not the ants, the
insanely
troop.
fucking reckless. Oh, not the ants, the spiders is insanely fucking reckless.
Yeah.
Hisoka is
That's because he doesn't need to be a traitor. He's doing that because Hisoka is a greedy bitch who wants to have as many strong opponents lined up at a time as physically possible.
Yeah.
the exact opposite. Hisoka is all about deception. His fighting style is exactly that, deceiving his opponents rather than overpowering them. Hisoka is all about
I mean, not always. Hisoka can just overpower you when he wants to. That was half
Well,
of the Gon fight.
you could say he has fun with the deception, and Gon
No, he
doesn't
does.
do
He
that.
likes
So like,
fucking with you, but also like, yeah, what I think of is just like, what about the Hunter exam? There's literally no deception in the Hunter exam. Hisoka just overpowers everyone that comes at him.
that is true. He just does like overpower everyone. He just punches his way through. He doesn't deceive
And
anyone.
in the Tower of Heaven, he has to be tricky with this guy because he's pretty strong and has a good ability. But
Yeah.
against Gon, he's tricky literally just to fuck with him because most of the fight is Hisoka running at Gon like a fucking madman and Gon being like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit.
planning ahead and making his opponents believe something that isn't true, then catching them off guard or tilting the battle into his favor. When writing antagonists, there are a few techniques you can apply to really make them stand out. One of the best ways to make an antagonist feel all-powerful
Is to make them sexy.
without
yeah.
it feeling unwarranted is by having them be extremely skilled at attacking the protagonist's weaknesses. Gon strictly fights via overpowering his opponents, but as you can imagine, this only works to a specific extent. Hisoka is the vehicle the show uses to force Gon into realizing these weaknesses, thus forcing Gon into learning from his mistakes
Sure.
and becoming
I
stronger.
feel like that's
Another
like a pretty
Sure.
bad way to describe Gon's flaw. No, because it's kind of just like man, you need to dig. It's Puff. It's like that really good ogre comic on Twitter. Where it's like ogre dumb. He only understands basic level themes of Odysseus or whatever the fuck he read. That stupid comic. It's like it's not just like Gon's central character flaw isn't that he only fights by throwing hands. That's not quite.
No. Yeah,
right.
no, like you can go a
It's
bit
more so,
deeper. Like it's
like,
fine.
it's-
If you fine. He's not going super deep, or he's not like it's fine. Whatever. It's fine. It's not like the
Right,
stupidest
right,
thing
right.
he says in the video.
Yeah, whatever.
Interesting thing to note about Hisoka is his morals. He is obsessed with Gon because he realizes that Gon has potential to be an incredible opponent. So what does Hisoka do? He goes out of his way to make sure that Gon continues to grow stronger, often even resorting to helping him when he's in tough situations. Hisoka isn't your classical tropish villain.
Yeah. No. Shonen villain has ever done that before. Hi, Kenpachi. Well, again, like Kenpachi came after, so like I guess if you want to call that.
The concept of a villain who lets the main
Hi,
character live,
Orochimaru.
so that they can- no, but also just like the idea of a villain who lets the main character live so that they can get stronger and come back later is like that is a trope.
It is.
That's a trope that villains get called stupid for, actually.
Hisoka is unique, pushes the plot forward, and is just an overall fun character to have in the show. His powers make sense, his presence has a clear effect on the narrative. Hisoka is the perfect antagonist to Gon, and fits in with the narrative so well that's often hard to imagine the show without him. So let's move on to Miriam.
What's funny is Meruem is super interesting because he is the perfect antagonist to Gon, despite the fact that he and Gon never meet.
Yeah, it's the thing I said with the funny voice. One's a human becoming more monstrous, and the other's a monster becoming more human. Wow,
Yeah,
parallel arcs.
like you know, I'm sure anyone with a brain can see like the very obvious parallels. You can think as early as Gon being taught to go for the head and Meruem being taught to save the head when
yeah,
it comes to how to kill the other opponent.
yeah, like
Now,
ooh,
do you
if
wanna
I
preface this
like
part of the
don't
video
kill
with a
them
key
and go for, and I could pick the brains out and the tastiest parts in the brains. Wow, I can benefit from holding back and not just going ape shit.
Yeah.
I do think the idea of Miriam was pretty good. I can definitely tell what the author was going for when
What was
writing
the
Miriam,
point of those subtitles?
but
Editing.
in essence, it doesn't change the fact that he failed. The first problem I'd like to point out is the fact that we sat through half an arc waiting for him to be born. I know that's kind of being nitpicky, but the fact of the matter is that 30 episodes out of this 60-episode arc are essentially without any real villain. But
What?
any real
So-
villain. I thought the ants were the real villain, like the queen, like
I guess he just doesn't mean a leader, but it's like, so that doesn't mean there's not
wrong. We
conflict.
have the queen.
Also,
we have
like,
the
that doesn't
queen.
mean, yeah, because the queen's goal was Meruem. He's an extension of her goal.
Yeah.
And also, the thing is, like, that doesn't mean there's not conflict.
There's
Like,
tons
there's
of
still
conflict.
There's still things going on.
Finally, once Miriam is born with an antagonist who is instantly overpowered. Remember what I mentioned earlier about building a strong antagonist? In order to make them enjoyable, generally you make an antagonist specialize in attacking our protagonist's weakness. Or if you're Miriam, you can just be born with insane godlike powers where you can crush essentially the strongest nin user in the world.
You can only have one type of villain, Shiki. He must be smart. He must not
No, it's
use
just
brute
like,
force.
and like, so, like, no, it's not even that. It's just like, fucking, so what's the problem with that?
There are no consequences or rules that Miriam follows. And we
Wait, there are no consequences or rules that he follows? There are consequences. What? Yes, huh? Meruem's big struggle is the fact that he like finds humans interesting and likes the ways they can surpass and amaze him, like Metaro and Komugi. But also, he's the Ant King who wants to fucking subjugate the shit out of these fuckers.
first see the Chimera ants and they learn how to use Nin, there were rules and structures to learning Nin. Instead, Miriam and the other World Guard members are just magically born with Nin and
Yeah, the ants in general break the rules of Nen.
Yeah,
They just
that
do.
was supposed to be like part of what made them so threatening in the.
And even then, let's be specific, they break the rules on how you get Nen.
yeah, because like
Their
they're
actual
born.
abilities still follow the rules of Nen.
And like, all right, his big main point that he's building to is power creep bad. He'll never tell you why power creep bad. He just assumes you believe power creep bad, which like
Because you watched
no.
the Giga Dragon Ball video. or
And like
something.
no, like it seems so weird. I was once tempted to make a video explaining why power creep is perfectly fine and okay because it makes sense that a character like Pain would be stronger than a character like Zabuza in universe, and why like narratively it makes a lot more sense that not one of Naruto's greatest obstacles, like philosophically about like what it means to create a good ninja world, would just be super powerful because he
Also,
has a
just
stronger
literally
answer
speaking,
than
it's
everyone else who
fun.
came before.
It's fun to see characters get stronger.
Yes.
are practically masters overnight. This is just classic misuse of power acceleration. Granted, these
Why
are
is it a misuse?
all merely small things I want to bring up before bringing up
It's a misuse because he said it is.
Miriam's morality. One of the other main functions in writing a strong protagonist is by having them
But did
have
you like for all he said for Hisoka's morality is that he wants Gon to get strong?
Yeah.
That is morality.
That's
That's just a thing he wants.
some sort of meaningful morality that makes our main character
In fact, Puff, I'd say one of the most interesting additions we got to Hisoka's morality was literally the most recent volume drop. Where he talked about his preferences.
question his own.
And how actually, believe it or not, Hisoka hates orgies.
Yeah, no, he doesn't like it. He
Now
wants
it's one
to
of the
fall
points
in love.
in-
He's a romantic.
And then kill that person, then find someone else.
Also,
to
like his
truly
whole
test
thing
the
about
limits of
like
his
his whole thing about like targeting weaknesses, couldn't we like kind of reverse it and say, oh, but everyone's trying to target Miriam's weakness. Like we're trying to figure out how we can get to him. Like what's the structure in his royal guard that we can exploit? Can fuck, I can't believe I'm forgetting his name. Netero. What can Netero do to try and get an edge in this fight? He has to find out. And what he does is he exploits the fact that Miriam wants to know his own name so that he can fight on his own
Yes.
terms.
And it's, yeah, because that's it. Yeah, it's also just the thing is, like, Hisoka doesn't, like, actually exploit Gon's, like, weaknesses. He's not like, Gon, there is a fatal flaw with your Nen ability. The Gon's weakness is that Gon is physically weaker than Hisoka and has a worse Nen ability. That is his
I know, and literally,
glaring
he's
weakness.
blameless because he's a child. He's a child. He's blameless when it comes to that.
The thing is just, Hisoka is bigger, stronger, and more experienced than Gon, so he can beat his ass.
Miriam's is a bit unclear. At first, it was to become stronger, but
Oh,
he was
also,
already
just
the
one
strongest in the
other
world, so
thing.
then
One
it was
other
to prove
thing.
that he was
Couldn't you say Hisoka is like as overpowered as Miriam is within the context of the Hunter exam?
Oh, within the Hunter exam, he absolutely, because we don't know who the fucking Netero is. So yeah, and because
As far as we're aware, we just hear like, oh, he killed examiners in the last one. So like the other examiners, he could probably beat them too, more or less. Like maybe
especially
this.
because we see an examiner try to rematch him, and Hisoka is infinitely stronger than him.
I know, so it's like yeah, when you go back, you realize, okay, Netro's like way stronger than, but within the context of just that arc, no one can touch Hisoka.
except for the guy that Hisoka's friends with, so that's not a threat.
And like even then, like in the exam setup, Netro shouldn't be allowed to attack Hisoka. Like he's not participating, he's overseeing.
Hisoka actually kind of unnerves Netero when he says he wants to fight it. And I was like, fucking weirdo. Yeah, he is. Or like even in Tower of Heaven, he is.
Yeah, no, cause like I guess you could say like what's his nuts? The guy
Tiger
with
Claw guy.
Tiger Claw can like kind of give him a good fight, and it's like okay, and it's like there's implied that there's like other floor masters above who may or may not be stronger than
Within the
Hisoka.
people we meet, the only person comparable to Hisoka is a guy who exists to job to him to hint at what his nen ability might be.
No, but Hisoka did that. He beat him with Smarticles, so like it's cooler than what Meruem did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude, that's so cool.
Miriam's is a bit unclear. At first it was to become stronger, but he's already the strongest in the world, so then it was to prove that he was the strongest. Getting to the part of the arc where he faced off against all of the board game experts finally coming across Komagi. I think this was a point where the arc could have been saved.
Does he get that Meruem's thing early on isn't like Meruem's interest with being the strongest and his interest with being the best? Those aren't conflicting or changing. It's Meruem looking for an identity overall.
Yeah, it's like, all right, I was born to be the coolest, strongest boy. Let's see what it, and he realizes he is. So he's just trying to challenge him. Like, all right, no one can challenge me physically. Let's play board games because I'm bored right now. I'm literally
Can
just
anyone
bored.
challenge me mentally? Can anyone challenge me this way? Shit like that.
Yeah,
Having Miriam come
No, there's a reason that he literally asks everyone what his name is because Meruem lacks an identity.
to the conclusion that he was not
Part of it's because he was born without his mom.
yeah.
all-powerful and that he was no better than the humans he was culling. But instead they went with this weird forced sort of love story between the two, and Miriam
Love story. That's entirely up for interpretation, my
You
guy.
could, I'm not against it, honestly.
No, it's not brain dead. It's just funny to act like that was obviously what was intended.
believes that some humans are worthy of survival, then he loses his memories, and then he regains his memories, and then he finally decides to spend his last moments playing board games with Komagi. Miriam changed too much, and he never really commits to one ideology. I feel
That's because he's literally radically changing. Like his goal's like the goal I was born with that my mother gave me. Let's do that, and then like it's like, oh wait, there's more to life than the destination. There's like like how you live kind of matters too, and like who am I? Who is what's my
And then there's
relationship?
even the fact that like when Meruem gets amnesia and comes back, he's become in a sense the perfect version of what his mother wanted because he has all of his pre-existing durability. He has the raw force of Yuppie, and then he also has all the dumb bullshit from Poof. And what he's lacking actually is Pito. And Pito's N is based on, and Pito's N, the way he would have used it would have been to find Komugi, so it would have been protective and like Pito's motherly shit. So actually,
Yeah.
that shit's bad.
Yeah, one of
Meruem,
the
as he existed, was like the perfect idea of like a super soldier warrior ant, but even that was not enough to take him away from just enjoying losing to someone in a game.
yeah, and like it's, one of the scenes people wank the most is like when he asks the royal guard his name, because it's like, all right, because like Poof like whole things about the whole like you must be the king. It doesn't matter like what you want, you must be the king who only wants to dominate, because that's the king in my head. It's not even a person, it's a title. And he's just like, please be the apex predator king man who will rule the world. And so like when he does come back, Poof's getting exactly what he wants. So that's why that's the conflict there. That's why he lost his memory, so that for a short time he could be exactly what Poof wanted him to be.
Yeah. Oh, and what's interesting is like when Meruem learns his name, Meruem means like the light that illuminates all, so just more if he was born perfect thing. But what's interesting is that the most important name Meruem hears in Chimera Ant is not his own name. It's when Wolfen says Komugi's name. That is the most important name Meruem hears, because he's found something beyond what he was born to do.
I feel like that's the biggest weakness of Miriam. He doesn't stand for anything. He flips beliefs almost on a dime and never really establishes a belief system before dying.
That's the tragedy
Dude,
of it.
what's the
is that he-
philosophy of Miriam? He has no philosophy.
No,
Where's
what's
his
funny is that's
philosophy?
literally like the tragedy of Meruem is that he was gaining humanity so fucking quickly, but he just didn't get it.
Yeah,
Isn't
like I
James
remember,
Merriman
like Netro's like, damn, he's like becoming too human. I have to stop before this gets complicated.
No, like literally, he went from "I'm going to kill all humans" to "I will make a ghetto of cool humans" over the course of meeting 2. Imagine what would happen if he met more. Maybe by the end he'd realize they're fine, and also he'd probably learn how many of his ants actually kind of fucking sucked.
massive way, with the exception of killing off one of the main characters. And most importantly of all, he has no real effect on Gon, our main character. Gon is mostly affected by Pito, one of the Royal Guard.
It's like such head empty behavior. It's like they don't talk, they don't have any effect on each other. I am in object permeance. They aren't in the same room together, so I can't compare that.
Dude, I told you that, like, as I was going through Game of Thrones, it's like, damn, I can see why the original book was called A Song of Ice and Fire. You know, you got Jon Snow and Daenerys Targaryen, the Song of Ice and Fire, kind of doing like a
their arcs.
Yeah, you know,
even
kind of, yeah.
before they meet.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, like
absurd.
you're kind of doing these parallel arcs, and then you also have, like, to bring another example, you have this Ramsay guy who is also a bastard like Jon Snow. It's like you kind of doing a similar. You can see how they haven't met yet, but you can already see the narrative parallels there. They don't necessarily have to have an epic clash of philosophies in order to have a character arc that reflect one another yet. I know the show's eventually gonna do. I know the show's eventually gonna do that, but like,
yeah,
you don't have
but
to
that's
have
such
to
a
do that.
severe misunderstanding of character arcs, because even like a fun one to bring up is what I like bringing up in Water 7 and One Piece is that everyone can tell that Usopp and Spandam parallel each other, but the other person Spandam parallels very interestingly is Luffy in what it means to be a leader and what type of leader protects and brings people around them to rally them. And they have very clear, very interesting parallels, but it's not talked about that often, which is probably because Luffy and Spandam don't really interact.
Oh yeah, they literally have one interaction over a snail phone, and it's played
Right.
for a gag.
Members who experiences very similar problems as Miriam, flip-flopping from being cold-blooded murderer to being extremely caring and honest character. I think
She's not extremely caring and honest. She's protecting Komugi for the sake of Meruem. Pito, from beginning to end, lived for two things: Meruem and fighting's low-key kind of fun.
You know, like, they were basically the parent that Miriam never had, more or less. Like, I have to be the
Yes.
one who's affectionate and, like, tries to care about their emotions and stuff like that. And Poof's
I'm
like,
the
that's
one who
fucking
heals
cringe.
Meruem.
That's fucking cringe, says Poof.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
No, the other thing that is really fun is Yuppie is the one who spent the least amount of time with Meruem, and Yuppie is also the one who died the most human.
I think my personal problem with Miriam is that he came after Hisoka. Hisoka was just such an
Also,
incredible.
he's
Oh
Hisoka's
my
gone.
god!
He's also acting like Hisoka's. Also, it's such a funny thing because it's like, dude, I don't know, like, who's a good villain, Puff, in a series?
Aizen.
Okay, it's a bad example because Aizen is my favorite villain.
Okay.
Sure. Let me do Naruto. I like Orochimaru a whole lot. In fact, I like him a bit more than I like. Actually, I like him a lot more than I like Datara. But I don't think Datara is kind of mid because Orochimaru is so cool. I just don't like Datara that much. The fact that a cool guy exists doesn't. My internet. The fact that a cool guy exists doesn't hurt the enjoyability of a different cool guy. It's literally just like, you know, Greed Island's my favorite arc. So every arc after Greed Island is just like haunted by the fact that it came after Greed Island.
Right? It's kind of like saying, dude, One Piece peaked at Enies Lobby. It's like, all right, sure, whatever, dude. Enies Lobby's like a masterpiece or whatever, and everything else is like cool too. It's fine, whatever, cool.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, sure.
Such
It's
baby
like
shit.
saying, dude, I can't believe One Piece went from a 10 out of 10 to an 8.7 out of 10. Oh no! Kaido's ruined because Lucci
Antagonist
was
who-
introduced too early.
Nevertheless, but it's also proof that the writer is more than capable of writing an excellent antagonist. This makes me believe that Yoshiro Togashi, the writer for the
Dude, he said that like that is his first time reading a Japanese name in his life. He said that like a kid doing a presentation, and that's their first time reading a name out loud.
I don't want to give people shit for pronunciation because I do it all the
No,
time.
not pronunciation, Puff. It was the way he said it.
more than capable of writing an excellent antagonist. This makes me believe that Yoshiro Togashi,
Dude, no, he did it like a kid on a presentation being like, stop, I must be serious and say this name. It's not, no, he pronounced it correctly. That's not what I'm making fun of him for.
the writer for the manga, just didn't bother putting in the effort with
it's
Miriam.
Yoshihiro.
There are a lot of ideas there, but nothing solid or enough to make me care. Thus, that is why Hisoka rocks, and Miriam is shit.
So I guess not only was that just talking about Hunter x Hunter, it was also just shitting on Manime Matt. All of his videos are like that. They're all bad. He's really bad at making videos.
No,
He's
that's
actually
no.
kinda
You just
like,
don't. You
no,
just
Puff,
don't
you know who he's a
understand.
lot like?
You just don't understand, Shiki. He's
No,
not
Puff,
an
you know who he's
anime
a lot
reviewer.
like?
He's a cinema and film
He
reviewer.
has said that, but you know who he's actually a lot like?
Manime, Shonen OG.
Yes, they constantly release like these 5 to 12 minute videos about the current thing, and they make a bunch of broad sweeping points, and they don't fucking substantiate them, and it sucks. And they get a lot of views because they're pumping out a lot of relevant content really quickly.
Yep.
All right, anyway, who's
All right. Okay. Sorry, I was cleaning my phone case because I was getting
enough.
bored. Yeah. Okay. All right. Remember to like do a whole reversal here. Let's talk about someone with very, 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 very little subs.
okay?
Do you remember? I forget the name of the channel, but you remember the guy with 72 subscribers?
Okay, yeah. So this is I guess we don't need to shout them out so they don't get like shit on for it. But
No,
we
we should
watched-
because then they get more maybe.
no. Also, that's an old video, and all the comments already hate him.
All
No,
right.
there's a really bad video where a guy wanted to talk about why he didn't like Nen, and his point with Nen is he brought up Karapika versus Uvogin, which is a fight. It's a jobber fight. The point of the fight is to introduce and show off how cool and strong Karapika's power is and how it works. And then that was compared to Guts and Casca versus 100 men in the woods in Berserk. Insane comparison, I know. And his critiques of Nen are like, he basically says that because Nen is a superpower where you can add conditions, anything can happen whenever, therefore it's bad. But then also, during the Berserk fight, there's a scene where, among the 100 men, a giant guy with a suit of armor shows up and says, "It's me, one of the brothers." And the joke I made for the rest of the video is, this fight sucks. For all I know, this jackass is gonna pull out another brother.
Yeah, I think he does. Like in the next time battle they see him in.
That'd be funny. No, because that's the thing. It's just like, the idea that, oh, anything could happen whenever, is like every series technically has that. What level of like, well, this sucks is up for debate. The other thing is his realism complaint, where he says Karapika tanking 100% punch from Uvogin, he can't believe because realism, but also he believes that Guts can survive fighting 100 men who are surrounding him with crossbows and spears. No, he's dead.
Yeah, I know. Like, all right, one of my favorite OSP videos is when they talk about conservation of ninjutsu, because like it's they talk about tropes a lot, and it's a trope that wasn't made because people want to express a certain idea. It was made because it is literally so hard to make a group fight where one guy fights 100 other guys, because then you have to make the group of people way, way, way less competent than they should be normally in order to make it effective. Like, you have to have a lot of them stand in the background or be scared whenever the guy like swings his arm around or whatever. It's like, yeah, it's really hard to do, because realistically, any five guys could beat one guy.
Yeah, that's why you kind of just have to accept, obviously you have to accept, fuck it, who cares? Like, Guts versus 100 men is a fun fight, so I don't care that it's not realistic. I don't care that logically, if enough of the crossbow men shot the crossbows at once, one would hit Guts in the throat and then he'd die. I don't care. I don't care that 3 of the spear boys should have just approached him from 3 different sides and stab. I don't care. Just, yeah, because like it's fun. And like, obviously you can do stuff to make it more grounded. Like, I think like Zoro versus the bounty hunters, he made heavy use of terrain, and also Zoro can dodge bullets, so like it's a lot more believable that he made it out of that.
Yeah.
But it's just like, who cares?
Yeah.
And
Like,
it's
it's
just,
fine.
yeah, anything can happen whenever. And then his other thing was just, he acted like all fights. First of all, he definitely hates action, because he always complains about the idea of like reveals during fights, or like just spectacle for the sake of spectacle when it comes to actions. Like, he doesn't like action.
Yeah, he admits
And
that.
also, he acted like every single fight needs to follow the same progression of stakes and intensity.
Dude, he
Where it's like, it
literally
needs-
pulled out a plot graph and was like, all right,
It
you have
was
to
like-
have
it was some more
rising
shit.
tension, then low to rising tension, and then like,
Where like his critique basically pointed out, oh, in the Guts fight, it's more intense as it goes on, because Guts is getting isolated, he's getting injured, Casca's getting chased. This is all very stressful. Which is, yes, that's the point. It's a very
Yeah.
hopeless kneeling scene. Whereas the point of the Kurapika fight is it's a fucking beatdown. Uvogin is jobbing and getting his ass beat like a little bitch to show how cool and epic Kurapika is. So yes, once Kurapika reveals how in control he is, we do start to feel less scared, but that's because we're not supposed to. We're not supposed to think, oh man, Kurapika might lose. We're thinking, holy shit, he can do what?
Yeah, no, like the Guts scene is like, this is gonna literally make Guts a legend in the Band of the Hawk. Like, he's the 100-man slayer. This is like a ginormous achievement within the standards of his own universe and all that. Whereas with Kurapika, it's just like, oh, he's now like, as even a single man, like a big threat to the Phantom Troop, this one group of people. We're establishing this kryptonite power that he has, this perfect counter to them that he has. It's like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
We're establishing that's how Kurapika, this one guy.
Oh,
and a
the
bunch
other
of,
thing he did is he tried to say that Uvo saying,
this is only 20% of my power.
I'm gonna go to 100. He's like, that's stupid and dumb and takes me out of it. You should never do math. But also, he really liked. But also, there was a math line in the Berserk thing that he showed that he liked. I can't remember what the math line was. I'm sorry, I'm being stupid.
Oh, no,
But the other
was it-
thing is he would also just shit talk like Kurapika sounding like a smug asshole. But then when Guts sounds like a smug asshole, he'd go on like a 3-sentence explanation about how like, no, this is very cool and fun and adds to Guts' character and is realistic. I believe he say that. But the
Dude,
thing is like
the fact
of
that
course
Guts and
Kurapika
Casca
is-
love each other so much adds so much tension. You really care about the two characters, and that
Yes.
adds to the tension. And just because
He said
Berserk is
that
good,
80
there's a lot of
times, too.
tension. He did say
Yeah,
that.
it was a
80
very
times.
messy video. But basically, clearly all that happened is he didn't like Hunter x Hunter very much, and for some reason, while watching it, the thing that came in the back of his head was, man, Berserk is a lot better than this. And specifically, that one fight from Berserk I liked. It's also just goofy because, like, no, he'd say that, like, oh, all of Guts' edgy cool lines are believable. I believe he'd say that. But then he'd shit on Kurapika's, and it's like, dude, Kurapika's beating the shit out of one of the people who genocided his people. I think he's gonna be a bit of a shit talker.
No, yeah, obviously. Like, it's a character thing at the end of the day.
It makes a little bit of sense that Kurapika's not gonna be that nice to Ufogin, and he's gonna try to, like, talk down to him and make him feel like shit, because of course he will. So yeah, that was a really bad video. Do we have anything else?
Well, we're at over an hour, so how about we get
No,
to
it's
some
what I'm asking
comments?
because it's kind of long. Is there anything else we want to talk about before next episode?
Just comment. I was just thinking maybe we should go to comments now.
Oh yeah, we did get a few Hunter x Hunter comments, didn't we? Hooray!
Yay!
Yeah, like 3. Hope this footage is fucking usable with how bad my internet was at first. Oh, Vigilantes is getting an anime. That's cool.
Nito Burrito. I guess we could also do the comments we got about the whole Saul thing, because we actually got a lot on the last video.
No, I don't. We can do that for another bad One Piece opinions.
Okay.
I guess the one thing we can say is you guys are right. Romeo and Juliet was a pretty bad example. Thank you.
Yeah.
Otherwise, fuck
Well,
off.
I just literally said that because Mord said serious writers never do fake out deaths on Twitter. I'm like, okay, you're just wrong there. If you're
Yeah,
gonna
but
say something
specifically
that
the
general.
type of fake out death he meant. But even then, in the fucking Hot Boy Spicy video, he back talked it even more and said that no, even the Gandalf one is different if you look at it that way.
Mm. I mean, I one thing I don't like is that we actually got a lot of comments people saying, well, the ice time capsule actually makes sense because ice time never like killed anyone, and then like ice time capsule is like kind of similar. It's like, okay, no one cares about that. No one cares about the logistics of Saul being alive because it's as believable as it's not believable. Because
Yeah, I don't give a shit. All right,
Yeah.
look, Hunter x Hunter. What is that? A spinoff of Hiatus? I don't care about. I think I'm never gonna be grumpy about Hunter x Hunter being on a lot of hiatuses.
no,
Togashi's fucking dying. The fact that he's making it at all is impressive.
yeah, and this is the thing about One Piece too. It's like, oh no, O's taking another 2-week break. How did I don't care. I'd rather he finish One Piece in 15 years than get to live as long a life as he can than if he
Okay,
can
here we
finish it
go.
in 8 and then die 2
All
years
right, here
later.
we have the Dylan stir. These aren't my Hunter x Hunter criticisms, just ones I've heard before from someone else. Kurapika's backstory flashback not being drawn in the actual manga automatically devalues it or makes the Kurapika plotline inherently worse off. I don't really mind. Like I feel like this is like a very One Piece fan thing to say. Every single flashback needs to be shown.
Yeah.
We know what happens. We know that I apparently there's like some fucking information thing where we learned the details and it was even more gruesome than we thought. But like whatever. What we know is that Kurapika's whole clan, who seem very chill and nice, were all massacred and had their eyes ripped out. That's fucked up. I don't need any more information. That's fucked up.
Like again, like you say, well, you get more emotionally invested. Yeah, theoretically, sure, that's cool, but also like I feel like it does a good enough job with what it does to get you emotionally invested. Like
Also,
just
it's not like that's the only time you
seeing
see
the,
the Phantom Troop do
yeah.
evil things.
seeing the eyes in the jar alone and knowing that could have belonged to Kurapika's like neighbor or like cousin or father, whatever, is like already like a heartbreaking thought, which I
Yeah.
think is more than.
And then we have plenty of reason to hate the troop outside of that. Like when they kill the dog knot guy in York New City. Why did you do that, Nobunaga, you ass?
Yeah.
They're bad people. Anyway, then the next one. Gon's adult transformation creates a plot hole. If the concept is possible for someone to make a Nen vow with themselves and sacrifice all their life worth of Nen, or sacrifice anything else substantial for an insane power-up, then surely anyone who is near death or about to die would be able to just exploit a Nen vow. So here are my 2 thoughts on that. We're not shitting on this guy. He's saying talking points he's heard. My 2 thoughts are, 1, I wonder if you could even work on the brink of death. Like, I wonder if the fact that you're about to die means you're less valuable overall, so you can't make as important a vow. And then the other thing is just, 1, Gon had to be in a fucking horrendous mental state, too, and this is a real one. We don't know how long, or, like, the intricacies of making a Nen vow works, because we haven't seen that many characters do it. So, like, it'd be interesting to see more of vows. I'd like to see them explored more.
And
And
I
3,
guess
and
like
this is
I
the
guess
big
this
one.
is
This is the big
but
one.
to get
Gon
back
didn't
to that,
sacrifice. The last thing I want to say is Gon didn't sacrifice his life. He sacrificed his potential, because the point that has been stated a million fucking times is that Gon has uber potential, and quite literally, like if someone like Leorio sacrificed all of his potential, it would not be a substantial power up, because Leorio doesn't have that much Nen potential.
yeah. Like anyway, I guess like about that point, like this came up in the Mr. 72 subs video too. Is that like anything could happen because of these vows? Like that's kind of true-ish. Like we did get oh my rubber Nen. Like theoretically, you can make any sort of weird dumb condition you want that involves your life. But also like how many people are like kind of crazy enough to exploit that? Like it's not a whole lot. Because imagine like actually making that like, okay, if I die, I blow up and get a super power up for 5 seconds, then I can kill the other guys. Like that's really a suicide bomber thing to do. You have to be like kind of insane to make a vow like that. Like the only one that is like I guess kind of what is Hisoka, because his vow involved bringing him back to life. But I guess you could say that was because he had the particular ability that could like allow him to do that already. Like,
Because
oh,
the
just get
point
my
is,
bungee
it's
gum
sticky
to.
and stretchy, so it's like, oh, he sticks to life and bounces back from death.
No, I thought it was.
Also,
I
the
thought it
fact
was.
that,
I thought it was like literally like he would stretch and contrast his own heart to like
No,
force it
that
to
is
pump
what
again.
the Nen did. That is what
Yeah.
the Nen did.
So like,
Also, like, it wouldn't surprise me if there are some side effects to this that we learned about later on.
I remember I saw some people say that, oh, dude, he's got like post-mortem Nen levels now, and he's gonna have
No,
post-mortem
I've made
Nen
that joke
levels now.
before because it's true. He does have post-mortem Nen now. He's like objectively got a big buff, which is hilarious because he was already stronger than Crollo.
Hell yeah.
Awesome. I love it. I think the funniest example of a suicide bomber in Hunter x Hunter is that girl with the fucking cat power.
Oh, that's fun.
I fucking love her power. Her power is stupid. But just yeah, could we theoretically end up in like I don't know, like a Skuna situation where someone is spamming and swapping out vows every 5 seconds? Yes, but also I don't think that would happen because some of Skuna's vows are like he could do a lot after sacrificing very little.
Yeah, no, it's kind of like, oh yeah, if I skip lunch on Thursday and it's Friday afternoon the day after, and I walked my dog 3 times, then my fire air will do 0.2 times as much damage.
Or he's
as
just
it
like,
would've.
oh, if I stop using this hand sign, I can do my power slightly differently. It's like, yeah, if that started happening, especially with a lot of characters, that'd be probably fucking annoying. But I don't think it will.
Yeah, and with most characters in Hunter x Hunter, like you could say like the ants are an exception still, but like most characters have to like take a bit of time to like learn their power and to like adapt to it and use it properly. So like I imagine that's not going to be a huge thing. Maybe it will, because like we are getting like the prince guy who's like getting like he has like 4 abilities now, but like he's
Dude, I love.
but I love him.
He's
But I
so
love him.
fucking strong.
So far, I love him. He's just like, all right, we're gonna make our antagonist a little dumb for the sake of being fun and cool.
Okay, all right. I think this is the last comment. I think Nen is bad. Well, at the very least, I don't think it's the greatest or best power system. I agree. I think Bleach has the best power system, or maybe Soul Eater, one of those two. The introduction of Nen is bad. It is overly long, talky chapter. That's every Hunter x Hunter chapter, dude. Come on. That dumps a lot on the reader at once, and most of the information is hard to tell which is important and which is world building fluff. Which I also think the author of Hunter x Hunter is bad at. Okay, dude. I don't even know Togashi's name is funny. What is important and what is fluff? I guess the idea is like, the Nen circles are not important. They are just fun and interesting. Like, for example, Hisoka being way better at brawling than Crollo because Hisoka is closer to enhancement on the Nen wheel.
It's so funny because like Crollo like stomps on him like 20 times in that fight and it barely does anything, and then Hisoka will like hit him once and it'll be like it's so devastating, like holy shit, like he gets hit like twice and both times he gets like sent flying and reeling.
Or like the other famous one is Razor is so good at so many fucking things he basically ignores the circle because he is a monster.
I know, like that just implies that if he did like stick to one or like made a better ability, he'd be like astronomically stronger than he is now.
Which is crazy. He's already like stronger than like half the Phantom Troop.
Yeah. But like I guess like one thing that like you can maybe like say that this might come up because I know Togashi loves video games. Sometimes not going for the theoretically biggest number approach when building a character in like an RPG or something is sometimes not the most effective way to like use them. Like there's some funny builds in Fire Emblem that seem like they don't make sense or shouldn't, but like end up being really good. Like one kind of meme in Fire Emblem Fates is Paladin Sakura. Sakura's the little healer girl who like mainly just has a bunch of magic, but like if you make her a paladin, give her a sword that uses magic things, she suddenly just gets the certain level up spread stat thing that gives her a lot of defense and a lot of magic. So she just ends up being pretty strong in a very unconventional for the type of characters she was built to be originally. It's just fun.
No, that is funny. There's a lot of those, and like I'll give a shorter example.
Or like Pokemon.
No, I can give an easy example. Anyone who plays Baldur's Gate and knows the max dexterity, minimum strength hill giant potion strat, you know what the fuck I'm talking about.
or like a Quagsire or a Xatu, where it's like they don't have good stats, but like they just have a weird.
Just sucks.
Well, no, I remember in like certain generations, Xatu
back in the day.
Back in the day, it was good because it was just a good counter to other mons that were really good in the meta. So it was like it wasn't like good necessarily. It was just a great counter to high tiers. So like you can have a situation like that. That's actually Kurapika. Actually, that's kind of Kurapika.
That is Kurapika's thing, right? Next, I also think aside from specialists, a lot of the Nen types overlap a lot. Well, that's because you could have more than one Nen. You don't only have one. Like, if you can put Nen into an object, are you not detaching the aura from your body? Well, that depends. Is it like you're putting it on the object and then letting go, there's no attachment? Or are you just holding it and your aura is on your body and the object? You get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because, like, it's that. And then, like, yes, Gon's an enhancer, but he can shoot and fireball, but it's really weak because he's not good at that type of Nen. All right, next, you could make differences, but the difference would only exist to justify the separate groups and not because of the separate groups. What is the difference there? The conditional power, while interesting on paper, can run into the same issues as binding vow. Okay, they're just worried we're gonna get a Skuna. Okay. I think it's fine. Oh wait, they're arguing in the comments. It is the best power system, and the world building is good. The world building's fine. It's fine. Just that focus more on each area, like all the world building about Heaven's Arena, York New City, Greed Island having a lot of world building. Greed Island rocks. That's fair. I understand my confusion wasn't about the quality of the world, but more about the method in which it is presented, where it's just a lot of talking. Yeah, if you're bad at reading, Hunter x Hunter can hurt.
Yeah. Well, like again, like it's just like it's a wordy manga. Like just it's either for you or it's not. Like it's fine, whatever.
Well, it is the power system, the most internal consistency, freedom, cool stuff, and blah blah blah. For example, stands are simple to explain. A magic ghost made of your will to fight. But the depth and confusion come from the individual stands. Part of my issue with Nen is a lot of characters don't justify themselves being a separate category. Why is there bitching about the categories? Especially because, like, there's a lot of character stuff where we looked up what category they were specialized in because we were curious. Like Razor, we're like, oh, Razor's good at so many things. I wonder if he's like an emitter or an enhancer. I'm curious. It doesn't matter. We were just curious. because the categories don't mean that much. The categories are kind of just there to be like quirky and fun. It's literally like chakra types in Naruto, which are also very similar. You have your main, but also you can learn most of the other ones. The categories don't matter that much. Hyper focusing on the categories is weird. And also categories are also, as Hisoka pointed out, there to tell us about the characters. The type of category you have tells us about who you are as a person.
Yeah, to an extent.
A lot of information is just given to the reader in a subpar way. It makes it hard to follow a fight from that angle. What Hunter x Hunter fight is hard to follow? Now you can still follow a fight in Hunter x Hunter. You don't need all the fluff to enjoy a fight. However, it does add to enjoyment. An argument could be made that alongside the emotions and drama, the power system fluff can be as important to one's enjoyment. Well, yeah, it can, obviously, because like some people like the hyper strategic JoJo fights, and sometimes those are a bit too strategic, and I'm just like, oh my god, can you shut the fuck up? Skip the part where you think five pages and then just punch the guy. Sometimes I think that. Usually I don't. Alright, is that it? Is that all we got?
Yeah, I guess that's all we got.
Alright,
For
let's
now,
pray- let's
we have
pray
other
this
we have other
audio-
ones. We have other ones. And I know I want to do another reaction with you for this one. That'll probably be the most of the runtime for the next one.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about.
It's really
Interesting.
good,
Okay.
and we have you'll know what it
Oh,
is.
is it the cooking up who didn't like Yu Yu Hakusho because they were cooking up
No, that's
Hunter
just one. That's just one of the other takes we have. The one we're
Okay.
gonna talk about Mother's Basement, talking about Naruto.
Oh, let's go! Oh, let's go! Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
so
gonna be great.
excited.
It'll
Alright,
be great.
Yeah, so anyway, let's hope these videos
Happy
are usable.
holidays, everyone.
Happy
Catch you next
holidays.
week.
Woo.